What's going on? What's going on? It's your big brother K-Rino. Hope y'all can see the topic. Hope y'all can see what we are discussing today. It's an ongoing discussion. This is something that we're going to talk about forever. This is something we're going to talk about until it changes. I had to write something down real quick. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button upon entry. And if you want to, let me know what city and state, country you're in. And I'll let y'all get that going before we get popping, man. We gotta continue to keep our feet on the gas as it relates to this record industry, this entertainment business. I don't want to just say the music industry. I want to talk about the whole business. Y'all hit the like button when y'all come in, man. Tell me where you're from. Tell me where you're from. I want to see. My goal, my dream one day is to do a live stream and have at least one person from all 50 states. Or how many states is it now? Is it 51 now? Did they do something tricky? I want to have somebody in the chat from all 50 states, or however many states it is in the United States, in America now. They're not all united. Alaska is like not connected, and Hawaii and all that. But we're not going to get into the technicalities of all that. We're talking about the evils of the entertainment industry today. I kind of want to just let it build up a little bit more before we go into it, because I just posted a video that made me want to go live and talk about this. I just spoke on this. I see we got the UK in the building. I see Puerto Rico. I see Australia. Shout out to all my people that's overseas and across the water and different countries and different spots around the world. Perth, Australia. Yeah. I watched something, I read something a minute ago, and it talked about how Nick Cannon, his brand, that Wild and Out brand, and we're not going to go back into the story, that old story that we covered a few months back, but we'll touch on it. But what they did was, now they are talking about bringing back his show, Wild and Out. And notice I said his show, because he created that whole concept. He created that whole brand, that whole format. He casted all of the cast members. He did all that himself. This was his brainchild. This was his creation. And when they removed him and canceled his show, it's funny how they can cancel your show and they can move you out the way, but they can keep your ideas. That tells you that they never cared about you in the first place. All they cared about was your ideas. They wanted your ideas off the rip. They wanted your talent. They just care about the resource that you can provide them that can continue to keep them profitable. Because it takes a certain degree of disrespect, a certain degree of just raw evil, blatant, to say, you know what, we don't like what you talking about no more, but we still want your idea because you legally signed that idea over to us. And I know what people are saying, hey man, business is business, and yeah, business is business, but I want y'all to answer a question and answer it with like a peace sign or a fist or something of that nature. Matter of fact, we're not going to answer it with a peace sign or anything. We're not going to answer with any type of symbol or emoji, anything. Just a simple yes or no. I just want to see. We're going to do just a little vote, but the popular vote counts. But now this is an opinion. Do y'all believe that it's possible to conduct business with integrity and fairness? Or does all business have to have some element of shadiness to it? If you think it's possible to do good, successful business fairly, yes or no? Just put yes or no in the chat right now. Can business be conducted fairly and honestly and still be successful? Got a lot of yeses coming up. I see a no. I see a no in the building. We got one no, but we got a lot of yeses. Got a maybe. And to those who say no, I respect that opinion, of course, because obviously the industry has shown us that the no seems to be the norm. But I'm with the yeses because I feel like it depends on the individual. It depends on the individuals that you're doing business with. If you're doing business with people who understand, I guess, people who have a sense of morality, then it can be done. If you're doing business with people who try to live their life under the concept of treating people the way that they want to be treated, then it can be done. It can be done. But I understand the no's. I understand where y'all know the no's are coming from too, because greed is a real thing, man. Greed is a real thing. It is a living, breathing entity that exists in all walks of life. And you have people who can obtain a lot, and they can obtain a lot on the backs of other people. And no matter how much they obtain, it's still not enough. They still feel as though I got to get some more. And I don't care who I trample over to get it. I don't care whose lives I destroy to get it. I don't care whose talent I drain and milk to get it. Ian Gresham asking me, will I speak for artists? It says, K-Rino, will you speak for artists? I guess you're saying who are scared to put out their music because of the music industry. I can speak to them and say, look, don't be scared to put your music out because of the industry, because you have the right to participate or to not participate in certain aspects of the industry, certain levels of the industry. You can put your stuff out yourself and control all of its movements. You don't necessarily have to go through the so-called industry channels and put yourself in a position to be jacked. Y'all keep hitting the like button, man. You don't have to put yourself in that position. An artist should never be scared. Being scared and being an artist, those words don't even go together. There's no such thing as a scared artist. You may be a scared individual who's playing the role of an artist, but when you have true art, when you got true art in your heart, you're not scared because you are living the art form. You just doing it. You would do it if there was no such thing as an industry. You do it for the love. So you can't be a true artist and be scared. What are you scared of? And guess what? And if you are afraid of the industry, but yet you want to participate in it, do you know what removes fear? Somebody tell me what removes fear. I want to see if y'all know. In one word, what removes fear? God is definitely the supreme answer to that question. But when it comes to channeling your God energy, what is necessary to remove any levels of fear? I haven't seen it yet. I'm still looking for it. Bam! Kamikaze just hit it. Knowledge. When you have knowledge of something that you are participating in, when you understand it, you're not scared of it. So a lot of us come into the music industry and any business, we come into it and we don't know the ins and outs. We don't have any knowledge of it. We don't have any knowledge of how it operates. We don't have any knowledge of the dirt part of it. You got to learn the evil part of the game. See, we come in kind of just going through the motions, but to truly understand how to maneuver in anything, you got to understand the dirty side of it. It's like being in the streets. The people who survive in the streets are the people who get down and are successful in street activity. It's not so much that they know just the basics of hustling or the basics of what to do. They know what not to do. That's the most important thing. Hey, I need to know what not to do, where not to go, who not to deal with. This dude, nah, he dirty. I can't. You got to understand how the game works in the wicked dimensions of it. We just frolicking along like, oh, I'm just going to go make some music. It's going to have some fun and make some music. What's this? Oh, y'all just sign this. No, you got to know the evil part of it. You got to know how the devil's mind works. Do you think that the devil don't know how, well, I want to say how God is thinking, because the devil is not wiser than the God, but he understands how to play the God-like game and manipulate the little gods who are trying to operate. You got to know the devil's mind in order to beat him at his own game. See, you got to learn. So Nick Cannon created Wild 'N Out. He created that whole concept. Everybody that came on the show, he did the auditions. He brought these people in. Now Viacom is, I guess, talking about bringing the show back, but they're talking about bringing it back without him. So they want to bring the show back, but without the person who created the show, without the person who brought the show to them. Do you see the arrogance in that? Do you see the dirt in that? That's cold-blooded. I'm gonna take your concept and continue to make money off of it without you, with no shame, because I legally have obtained the right to do so. So they trying to get some of the old cast members to come back, and 3 of them. I'm a big fan of the 85 South Show. I talk about them from time to time. I love comedy, and I love these young brothers. And they have branched off from the Wild and Out brand to build their own brand called the 85 South Show. And they were asked, to my knowledge, would they come back and be on the show without Nick Cannon? They said no. That's loyalty. That's integrity. Everything ain't about a dollar. It's so many people that would have jumped right back on that and been doing that show. How can you live with yourself and you participating in something that somebody brought you in, somebody made it possible for you to be on that stage and on that platform, and you know how dirty they got bumped off of their block, and you on the block they created, being employed by the very people who ran the guy that brought you in off the block. That's a lack of integrity, man. Everything ain't about money. Somebody has to have it in their mind to say, we gotta be dignified, and we have to be able to turn certain things down. Got to be able to turn certain things down, man. That's just what it is. And we're not just talking about music. I want to make that understood. Because sports is dirty. Hollywood, we know, come on now. Hollywood is probably the granddaddy of them all. Hollywood is the dirtiest, sickest limb on the tree. The things that they make the entertainers go through, the rituals that they have to go through, the rites of passage that they have to endure in order to gain certain levels of status and success, to get certain roles in movies. And it ain't just the females. See, it ain't just the females. You see a lot of these dudes that's coming out now talking about how they got touched on and molested by these old fat executives that like to play with men and touch on and fondle men and all that type of stuff. It ain't just the women. We know that the women endure the most of it. The casting couch is real. I said that one other time. The casting couch is real. But these dudes go through it too to get these roles. They have to degrade themselves, man. Who wants to be a part of that? Picture yourself being an actor, an aspiring actor. You come into an audition and they like, yeah, man, we like you. We seen a little of your work. We read your bio. We seen your pictures. We like what you got. You excited. You ready to get down. You think this is your big break. Then they tell you, man, we could put you in a blockbuster tomorrow You just need to come in this back room with us. Let Mr. Weinstein's back there in the back room. Weinstein's back there. Harvey wants to talk to you. Why you got to talk to me in the back room? Oh, it's okay. Harvey just wants to talk to you in the back room. Go on back there. We got the contracts and everything ready for you. What would you do in that situation? It's people that would be like, oh, man, I just had to do what I had to do. No, that ain't what you had to do. There's no way in the world you don't give that part of yourself up, man. I don't care how much money they offering, man. They don't print enough money. See, these are things that happened to black men during slavery when they were on the auction block. They were trying to check you out to see the quality of your physique, the kind of work you can do. Is he strong enough to work? Is he potent enough to reproduce? So they got you standing on the block, butt naked, grabbing your body parts and all that and doing all that nonsense. So from that time to this time, it's just, hey, now it's the NFL combine. Now it's the entertainment industry. Shout out to the homie Gabrielle Guillen. Appreciate the donation, my brother. That's right, man. Keep supporting the channel, man. We coming up on 40,000 subs. I don't know where them 40,000 at, because I don't be seeing them. I see my people that's on here with me now. I see y'all all the time. Yeah. So the game has changed, but the process is the same. They just do it a little differently. They just do it. They just put a remix on it. You still on the auction block. You still are property, but they will pay you, and we will become fooled by the money. We will become smokescreened by the money, by the fame. But a lot of them cats are miserable, man. To be violated like that. To be violated like that is it's a tough thing, man. For a woman, tough thing for a man to be violated like that, and you gotta live with that because you felt like, man, I gotta feed my family. You didn't know that, hey man, put that in God's hands and go about doing it the way you do it, and keep your integrity, keep your dignity. This is a dirty industry, all phases of it. It's dirty. Sports, same thing. Like I said, you got the NFL combine. They just got these guys out there just, and I know what you're thinking. Oh man, you taking this too seriously, man. They just got to see how fast you can run. Man, look, it's a modern day auction block. It's a modern day auction block. That's all it is. They're just paying. So the money serves as a cushion to make people go, hey man, hey, he making $10 million a year. Shout out to the New Light. Appreciate the New Light. Appreciate that donation, man. I appreciate the words, man. We trying to grow and elevate, New Light. So the 85 South crew, They said, "Nah, we not coming back without the individual who brought us in. Nick brought us in. That's loyalty. Loyalty is a lost art in life, period." 2020 has been like the year of just seeing just loyalty become almost extinct. People who have gone out of their way to build and help other people build. People who have, some of y'all may have history, recent past history of being down with somebody and helping them and strengthening them and being there when they need you, whether it be moral support, advice, financial, whatever the case might be. And they turned on you for nothing you did, just turned on you. Got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. You could think you know somebody. You could think you know somebody, and they turn on you. A lot of us take that thought process into the industry, into whatever industry we're in. And everybody ain't a rapper. Everybody ain't a singer. Everybody ain't a professional athlete. Everybody is not an actor or actress. Everybody's not a comedian. These principles apply to regular, everyday working people. You worked on your job for 15 years and you thought you was good. You thought they cared about you. You was loyal. You was on time. You helped grow the company. You showed up when you didn't feel like showing up. You came when you were sick. You worked extra hours. You did things that were above and beyond your pay grade. Stayed late, came early. Then one day, what do? Man, I think we're gonna go in another direction. When they tell you they get ready to go in another direction, let me tell you, look, anything in life is never good when they say they're getting ready to go in another direction. Dude, if your girlfriend tell you, your wife tell you I think we need to go in another direction. Yeah, but you can work on that job, man, be dedicated, man, give them people your all. They will let you go. You don't build up anything that will lead to you receiving loyalty from these corporations. You are just a body to them. Miami, Florida, my brother. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the donation. Said that's what the story of Pinocchio was about. That's the key, man. We can't say that loyalty is not out there. Of course it is. We just have to find and locate where the loyalty is. Keep hitting the like button, y'all. I don't like to see more people in the room than more people than the likes. I like the likes and the people who are watching to be equal. So if there's a certain amount of people in the room, that means, and the like saying, that means everybody ain't hitting the like button. But record labels do it. How many times have you seen an artist who has produced multiple platinum albums, multiple gold albums, have sold millions and millions and millions of records. I see you, Pee Wee. They've sold millions of records, and that label drops them. Drop them like a bad habit. How many times have you seen a great athlete that has given his whole career to a franchise, to an organization, and he have an injury or get hurt, and they cut him? They get rid of him. They trade him for nothing. Nothing you built up matters in this industry. Nothing you built up matters. Michael Wisenhunt, love your music and what it has done for me and opened my eyes. God is great, man. God is great. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love, man. In order for me to be able to open somebody's eyes, God had to bless me to have mine opened by somebody else. And I'm still trying to find ways to open my eyes, because I'd be a fool to try to act like I know everything. If this circle represents knowing everything, I'm probably in the smallest corner of it with all that room left to grow. None of us had this thing figured out. Even the concept, even the subject we on right now, we don't have it figured out. Because the same way we try to evolve as people and as artists, you don't think that the devil is evolving too? You don't think that this industry is evolving the same way? The industry is evolving the same way. And it's amazing. We have to get wise as the game gets wise. See? We could talk about boxing. How many boxers ended their careers broke? And that's the saddest thing when you have these contact sports where you have athletes who take a beating. Football, boxing, you take a beating your whole career, and when you retire, you are in your mid to late 30s, and you broke down, beat up, bruised, and you wouldn't mind it as much if you had the money to show for it. But a lot of these boxing promoters, they dirty. They rape these athletes of their money. That's why they hate Floyd so much. Say what you want to say about Floyd Mayweather, but he knew how to strengthen his business hand. He knew how to strengthen his business hand and put the power under his own control and promote his own fights, get his own price. He knew that he was the draw. He knew that he was the attraction. He knew his value, and he made them know it. And by the fact that he had worked on his skills and his talents and ascended to being the best in his field at the time, they couldn't do nothing but bow down. So say what you want to say about him and whatever other aspects you may have a problem with him, but they didn't get him. They didn't get him like they got the greats that came before him. They didn't get him. He was making the lion's share on his fights. You got to be like that in music. Got to be like that in all forms of entertainment. Now, you may have to go through a process where you take some bumps. You're going to hit your head a few times and got to learn, oh, man, okay. All right, go back to the drawing board. You may have to do that. But guess what? If the end result is you accumulating the knowledge and reaching a point where you got total control of your work, you calling your own shots, that's it. Is this still lifted? Appreciate the donation, still lifted. Man, look, if I'm known by you, I'm well known. See, all of these things play a part into it. I appreciate that love too, man. All these things play a role because individuals who talk the way I talk and make the kind of songs that I make that are going hard and condemning the negative sides of this industry and this game and in this world, I'm going to be suppressed. Not depressed, suppressed. They're not going to let a cat like me hit the big stage like that, because they're not going to be able to tell me what to do. They've never been able to tell me what to do. Never. Just dropped the video to the meeting. Had to do that video. It's timely. It still applies. The song is 8 years old. But that's what that song is about. That song is about the temptations that they try to hit you with in order to suppress you, suppress your message. They still trying to break slaves in 2020. They still trying to make you say Toby in 2020. They don't have a problem trying to break you. What y'all got to say about it, man? Let me see. We talking about the evils of the industry, entertainment all around, man. Let me see. Let me see what's on y'all mind, man. See what's on y'all mind. See a lot of new people, man. If this your first time on one of my live streams, just throw a peace sign up or something, man. If this your first time on the live stream. Jack says, F the system. Shout out to all of y'all, man. A lot of people, man, I appreciate the new crew, man. Y'all don't be strangers, man. Don't be strangers. Mi casa, su casa. Yeah, look at all of y'all new people, man. Don't be a stranger, man. Come back. Hit the notification bell when you subscribe to my channel so it'll notify you every time that I put a new video up. Greek Kane, appreciate the donation from New Zealand. Man, thank you, man. I'm glad you liked the video to the meeting. Yeah. And let me say this. When I talk about the mainstream, I'm not condemning the artists. I may have some criticisms, but they may have criticism about me. People got criticism about me. That's fine. When I talk about the mainstream, like the song I had, Murder the Mainstream and all that, I'm talking about the top shelf, the hierarchy, the people who control and run it. Because no artist can put out negative content on that kind of scale without the hierarchy in the industry allowing them to do it. You see what I'm saying? And not just allowing them to do it, encouraging them to do it. You think these record companies want conscious rap and conscious music out? They want to keep people ignorant. They want you to be ignorant. They want you blinded and distracted by booties bouncing and snorting lines of cocaine and money flying around and cars and all. They want you distracted by that because there's bigger moves in play behind the scenes that they do not want talented artists speaking about, because those artists have the talent to speak in such a way that would turn the minds of the people away from the foolishness. These are the people they fear. If you got a cat that's just frolicking along and he seems to be, they don't ever have any problems with this guy. He always seems to be in line and stand in pocket with what they want to do. They're not worried about him. It's the ones you always hear them criticizing. It's the ones that they are always coming out against and vilifying. Those are the ones that we should be really rallying behind in a lot of cases. Bloody Criminal. Thank you, Bloody Criminal. Appreciate that. Greek Kane, appreciate you again for backdooring New Zealand. Greek Kane backdoor. Yeah, man, we trying to get to 40,000 subs. Yep, exactly. You've been around that long. If you've been around since I had 10,000 subs, now I'm coming up on 40,000. You've been rocking with me. I just ask y'all to stay with me. See? Because look, all this ties into what I'm saying too. Because there are people who got love for their big brother. And man, I'm thankful to God for all of y'all. I appreciate y'all. And people will say, well, man, K, you should be up there with wherever God got me and wherever I have myself. I'm thankful, I'm grateful for it. Because I'm not going to be up there if I have to comply and conform to that BS. I can't do it. So I'm meant to be where I'm at. But if you want to elevate me, if you want to do your part to elevate me wherever you feel that I should be, then just consistently keep riding with your big brother. When I jump on a live stream, come on in. When I post a new video, come on in. When I drop a new project, scoop that thing up. In whatever means, digital, physical, that's how you elevate. Not just me, anybody that you want to support. That's independence. That's freedom. That's self-ownership. See, it's not a label. Now I'm talking to artists. It's not a label that positions you or that gives you the ability to be free, to be self-owned, and to be independent. A label doesn't do that for you. You do that for yourself. The people do it. The audience does it. The fan base does it. Don't be caught up in that fear that we talked about earlier. Worried about, man, if I don't get signed. What you mean? What you mean if you don't get signed? You're putting your whole dependence, you're putting the success of your career, you're putting that whether or not you get signed to a so-called major label. What makes a major label major? Because we use that term a lot. a major label. They're major because they have the money and the resource. I guess by definition. But are they major? Is a label major that will exploit your gifts and milk you, steal your publishing so your children can't eat for generations, but theirs can? It's major corruption. The people determine an artist's success. Now, do you got to break your back a little harder as an independent? Yeah, but you shouldn't mind that. Non-concept major crap. Optimo Shack said that's like putting your freedom into someone else's hands. And when you put your freedom into someone else's hands, what do you become? When you put your freedom, I'm going to take my freedom and give it to you. What am I after that? See if one of y'all hit it. What's up, Guapo? Colorado. That's right, you're a slave. Do you have to be broke to be a slave? $1 million slave. What's up, Marty? Do you have to be broke and struggling financially? Is that the only way you could be a slave? Breaking your back? You know how many artists that the appearance of them is success. The material things, the money, the cars, the houses. Do you know how many of them live in misery, man? They thought that those things would fulfill them, but they didn't. So now they're on drugs. They resort to drugs or other things or other vices that they try to use to gain happiness, what they believe to be happiness. Freedom, man, is a beautiful thing. If there's ever a song or a line or a verse or something that I write and I'm skeptical about whether I should say it or not, that decision falls on me. It's a beautiful feeling to not have anybody have the power to tell you, well, now you can't say that. You got to change that. I ain't changing nothing I want to say. I may say, you know what, man, this might be a little too harsh, but it's me. We are free TV. You came in right on time. We are free. We are free. I want you to exercise your freedom. If you're working on a job, I ain't saying go in there and cuss your supervisor out tomorrow, but work towards freeing yourself, because we are set up in this system to get a job and essentially work 25, 35, 45 years and give all that you have to that corporation, to that company, and then retire. And you might get a nice package when you retire. Nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times, man, if you have not been the type of person who's taking care of your vessel over those 40 years, or if you worked a job that was so strenuous that it just broke you down over those 40 years, just like the athlete I was talking about, Then when you retire, you're not even 35 when you retire, you 65. You might have a package. You might have put a little money up, but you might be so broke down that you can't even really enjoy what you accumulated over all those years. You never really got to enjoy life. Now, that's not everybody, but it's a lot of cases like that. Then you got people, like I said, you 35, 40 years old. You know how young 35 is, man? 35 is old in sports. But in life, at 35, you retired, you have no money, man, nothing to show for all that hard work you put in because of an industry that bled you out, used you up, and then tossed you away, tossed away the remnant when they were done. Man, that's tough. Now you got to spend the rest of your days. It's like starting all over again. If you're an athlete and you were not able to parlay your athletic career into broadcasting or coaching, everybody doesn't do that. How are we going to free ourselves, man? Are we scared to take the steps to free ourselves? If you had an idea to start your own company up, to utilize your gift, but you were working for somebody else, would you be scared? Man, I can't lose my job. But how can you maximize your dream if something over here is distracting you as well? I'm trying to get to this, but I got to keep, hold on for a second. I got to go back to this. Because we fall into those comfort zones. In a comfort zone, comfort is sometimes conforming. You have become comfortable in your conformity to something that would never advance you. What is success? Let me see what we're talking about. See what's on y'all mind, man. Quarters 313. Where's 313? That's Detroit. Where's 313 area code? I think I'm wrong on that. Yeah. You say you're 28 years old and haven't got the chance to show the talent that I have to the right people. They use it against you. You can't let them use it against you, man. You operate and you delegate your talents on your own terms. You make the determine. Yeah, I thought that was Detroit. You make the determination on how your talent is distributed and under what terms. You don't let people just tell you, I dance, and you start dancing. You don't do that. You put value on your gift. Put value on your talent. Even if you ain't got a dime in your pocket, it's not necessarily about where you are at that moment. It's about where you see yourself. It's about who you see yourself as. It don't matter if somebody say, oh man, we don't know you. Who are you? We don't know you. You know yourself. Yeah, I know y'all don't know me now. I put value on myself. I see myself as being great. Y'all don't see it. You might not see it. I see myself as being great. Go listen to that song by Prince called Baby, I'm a star. Say you might not know it now. So y'all might not know it now. It's about who you see yourself as. Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh. So whatever you are to yourself, that's what you are. If you are nothing and nobody and a failure to yourself, then that's what you're going to be. We shape our own reality. Shout out to the homie Jay to the Walker, the man responsible for all my album covers, man. He said freedom, health, wealth, and peace of mind is success. Can't answer it no better than that. Freedom, health, wealth, and peace of mind, and God's blessing to have all those things. That's success. That's what it's all about, man. Success is just merely accomplishing something. It might not have landed a bunch of money in your pocket. It's just the fact you set out to do it and you did it. Some people say, man, I want to lose 50 pounds before the summer is over with. And they put the work in. I ain't talking about going to have no surgery. I mean, you put the work in, change your diet, exercise, and you accomplish that goal, you successful. The Bookworm Gamer in the building, man. Appreciate the donation, my brother. The Bookworm Gamer. J&L, man, I always need a beat, man. Send me some beats. Send me some heat. We're talking about the evils of the industry, man. And the trick to this conversation was, it's just not about entertainment industries. It's all walks of life. I think the average working man or woman, they got it the worst. Because like I said, you work all your life, man, just to provide. And these people will drop you like a habit. Y'all mean more than anybody. Forget a rapper. Forget a basketball player. Y'all go through more than anybody. Don't let yourself be exploited. Sugar Ginger in the building. Sugar Ginger say, yo, you're my number one fan. Hey, I appreciate that. There's room for a bunch of number one fans on my team. Because I got a lot of great supporters, man, who've been rocking with me forever. And all of y'all bring something different to the table, man, that I appreciate. So now, what is the next step? What's the next step for an artist to duck and dodge and bob and weave the evils of the industry, or for anybody to duck and dodge and bob and weave the evils of industry? How do we gain that independence, that freedom? How do we get that? It's the same word that was the answer to how do you remove fear? It's knowledge. When you gain the knowledge of something and what you're trying to do, it gives you an advantage and it gives you a springboard to start maxing out and start manifesting what it is you have in your mind to get accomplished. You want to know about the industry? Learn about it, read about it. That's the boring part of the game. That's the part of the game that a lot of artists don't like to hear because they're ready to get on stage. They're ready to get on the mic. They're ready to be seen. They're ready for a photo shoot. They're ready to be in a video. They're ready to sign autographs. But after all that is over and you go home, or when all that is over and the pay cycle swings around from that major label that you own, and this you looking at your check like, this don't look right. Yeah, because you wanted that video, you wanted that photo shoot, you wanted this, you wanted that, and we recouped all of that. Oh, you didn't read your contract? See? Freedom. Real freedom. Gaining the knowledge to obtain real freedom is how you duck this industry. You see a box too long, or you see an athlete play too long because he done messed off his money or he got beat out of his money, so he got to keep on fighting. Dude, 42 years old and still in there taking them punches like that because he trying to get, he need 1 or 2 more paydays because he been beat out of $70 million in his career. He want to at least end his career with 2 or 3 million. DC, thank you for the donation, DC. Appreciate the love, man. Much love and respect to you, DC. Thank you so much. Remarkable ending in the beginning said, we don't need no more rappers. We don't need no more basketball players, no more football players. We need more thinkers. We need more scientists. We need more managers. We need more mathematicians. You were absolutely right. We need to create an interest in other fields besides the ones that are glorified, like sports and entertainment. Because it's only 12 spots. Well, it's only 15 spots on a basketball team, only 50 something on a football team. Everybody's not going to make it. But there's no limit to opening up your own business. They don't have a limit to say, well, only a certain amount of people can open up a business. Only a certain amount of people can become an entrepreneur. Parents, find your children's gifts early and cultivate them early. And get them started on it early. Is that Mr. The Man or Mr. Thurman? Appreciate the donation, man. It's Lucy's plan. Y'all remember Lucy? Lucy is Lucifer. He say it's real gangster not to be gangster. Come on, quoting the great Too Short. Yeah, man. Gangster, we giving gangster a new definition. The definition of gangster is being an entrepreneur, legal money, legal hustle, legal grind. That's gangster. Helping other people, bringing other people up. Leaders creating leaders, entrepreneurs creating entrepreneurs. I'm trying to get there. I ain't there yet. That's gangster. Fundy Feed. Appreciate the love. Say, finally caught your live, bro. Appreciate the love, Queen. Number respect for that. Appreciate the love indeed. And yeah, what you do too, just subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notification. That way you'll know. That way you'll catch me. Unless you be like, you know, I do late night live streams sometimes. I get on at 12, 1 in the morning sometimes. And the diehards be right there with me. It might not be but 50 or 60 of us on there. Appreciate that love. Artists are waking up though, man. A lot of artists are waking up. A lot of these young guys, they on top of their game, man. They understand the digital game, the streaming. They understand publishing, all of that. They got it. I need them to teach me. See? Ja'Cory White. That's not on the subject, Ja'Cory, but what I will do for you, my brother, I'll do a whole live stream on depression. I'll make sure the next live stream I do will cover depression, because that's something that's really important that a lot of people go through. So I got that for you, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write it down so I won't forget, because your big brother, my memory is not all that sharp. We're gonna do that though. We're gonna cover depression on my next live stream. I'm not an expert, not a doctor, not a psychiatrist, psychologist, none of that. But we'll talk in general. Yeah. Because it comes in many forms. Artist depression, the subject we on, this industry has brought so many people to depression because we are naive to a degree. We come in kind of feeling like, man, it's going to be it. When this thing reveals itself to be what it actually is, and those same CEOs that you sat across the table from, and they smiled and shook your hand and welcomed you to the label, and once you got in, they took a mask off, and that was Lucy. Lucy was sitting right in your face. And you find yourself not being able to do the things that you had dreamed of doing for yourself and your family. And people fall into a depression behind it. I've seen artists lose their life. Not that they committed suicide, but just the disappointments of the industry sent them on a road that eventually led to their demise. I've seen it. Drugs, fast living, resorting to criminal activity because they didn't make the money they were supposed to make in the game, in the industry, and end up going to jail or getting killed or something, man. I mean, this game is real, man. You have to be strong-minded. It's not for the weak. You got people who sit in those seats that have no talent and creativity of their own. Their only goal is to eat off of what you create. That's what just happened. And that's what happened to Nick Cannon. I ended like I started. That's what we talked about in the beginning, because your idea will no longer be your idea. It comes from your mind. They'll take your idea, swindle you out of the ownership of it. And when they remove you from the scene, the idea still legally belongs to them. And it goes on and on and on. And you the one that started. It made me think about Black inventors. Inventions that were created by Black people who never got the credit for creating those inventions or inventing those creations, however you want to lay it out. Things we use every day. But the patent belongs to somebody else. Somebody's family is eating off of that for generations, billions of dollars. Some of the most vital things in our everyday life that were invented by Black people that got snatched, jacked. I'm gonna get my paper out. I'm gonna get my list. I got a list on file of those things, and I'm gonna talk about that one day. We be here all month, all the next month. That's what these owners of these teams do. That's what these CEOs do. They just sit back and pick through the talent field. They just pick through the field. Take what they want, throw the rest away, use you up, suck you dry. take ownership of the most important thing. They can't take ownership of your talent. Remember that. Your talent is with you forever. Even when they dump you from the label or from the team or whatever, you have the talent. What they take from you are ideas. What they take from you are concepts that can live forever. When they get those concepts like a Wild 'N Out, they got that forever because they can substitute the cast members and live off the brand forever. So you got to guard your ideas, inventions. You got to guard that. You can't even share some of that stuff with your people in your circle. You ever had an idea and you just casually mention it to somebody and you look up and they doing it? Think about that. You have to guard your ideas, man. You got to guard it. Don't just run off telling everybody the second you come up with something. Man, I was thinking that. Oh. Work it to where by the time you are able to start talking about it, it's impossible for somebody to steal it. That's how you got to get it. Get it to where by the time I'm talking about it, they can't get it. I've copyrighted this. I've patented that. I've registered this name. I've done. I can talk about it all day now because you can't come and take it. So Brother Nick was an entrepreneur. He still is an entrepreneur. But somewhere down the line, he may have dropped the ball in terms of negotiating or demanding the ownership of that brand, that Wild 'N Out brand. But I'll close it like I started. Shout out to the 85 South crew, DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller, Chico Bean for being like, dude, y'all can't call us and try to get us to come back on that show without the man who put us on it. That's loyalty, man. Loyalty. You can't be a rapper and put me on your song and then something happened with you and the label. The label can't call me and still try to put me on that song. I'm like, no, matter of fact, take me off the song and know I'm not getting on the song again for you because I don't know you. That's my dude. Y'all messed over my dude. I'm not working with you. Gotta have some integrity, man. Gotta have some loyalty. Too many people will jump on that in a heartbeat when the money come. I've seen it. It's happened to me. Gotta get that money. Give y'all some shout outs before I go, man. See Andrew Smith, Terenzo Jones, Big Smoke Productions, Kamikaze, Marty Mark, 187 Hypnotist, Jovan D, AI Jacob, The Spiritual Creed. Appreciate y'all, man. We Are Free TV, Cesar Chavez, Christopher Harris, Iliam HD, Jesus. What's up, Jesus? Want to hear that song, man? LD, Frank Williams, Maisha Swearingen. Maisha said a lot of fake people would have been right back on. And you know, the jury's still out, Maisha, because here's the thing too. I understand people got a family to feed. I understand livelihood. I don't want to come off like I don't get the fact that, man, that might have been the only stream of income for some people. And it might have really hit them hard to lose that gig, but still, you got to trust that the creator's going to make a way for you, man. If you know it's not sitting right in your spirit to do that. And sometimes, man, we done all took some dirty money before. And when you know you took some dirty money or you made some money in a way that wouldn't just, you feel some kind of way, at least you should. You don't feel right. And a lot of times, the dirty money don't even last, man. You end up losing it anyway. So trust in the unknown and the unseen, that if I make a integrity move, then I'll be rewarded and blessed because I held my integrity and I didn't sell out for some money. And to sell out an individual who put you on, can't do it. So I appreciate the love, man. I catch y'all when I catch y'all, man.